Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Women in Security Navigate Her Coffee Chat series. I'm Beth Anderson, and alongside me is my co-chair, Emma Barkley. We're thrilled you've joined us today for a relaxed, candid conversation about building successful careers in security. Our goal is to connect you with inspiring stories, practical insights, and real-world advice from leading women in the field. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emma Barkley, and this is another Navigate Her Women in Security Forum coffee chat with women in engineering. And I'm joined today with Danae from dormakaba, who's going to tell her story today. So, Danae, do you want to tell your story? Or you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I am Danae Arce. I'm Senior Manager of Strategic Marketing at dormakaba. And I guess maybe that raised the alarm of, I thought this was an engineering talk. What's going on? So I am an engineer. My undergraduate was in industrial engineering, and that's where I started my career in the security industry.
Perfect. Yep. So with that, you have kind of an interesting background of kind of getting into engineering and that tipping point that you had as well. So do you want to share a little bit about your story of your getting your degree, going out into the workforce, and then really what that tipping point was that kind of led to some career changes?
Yeah, for sure. So I did start my career in industrial engineering, working at a manufacturing plant at a large security company. And I went through different types of projects or roles like manufacturing, quality, project management, all this. And I enjoyed it greatly. But it did come to a point where there were many things going on, even life-wise, career-wise, where I felt I needed a change. It was a bit of a feeling stuck. I'm sure many people can relate to having points in your career where you feel stuck and you know you need to do something different, you're not sure. And it just so happened that I was reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell, and I was talking to someone else about it who was in product management and going about a story, and they said, well, you seem very passionate about marketing. What you're talking about is marketing. And that kind of gave me the little light bulb moment of, I hadn't thought about that. And I just realized I wanted to be in a role where I was being a little bit more strategic, closer to the customer, and coming up with the plans rather than just executing someone else's vision. So that's kind of how I kind of realized I needed to have that change. And then I went and got an MBA at Northwestern University, majoring in marketing to make that career pivot once I realized that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. And I think so many people can relate, right? You get into your career, you have this perfect idea in college. You think that, okay, this is what my career path's going to look like. And then you get out in the real world and you have those first couple of years, you're like, did I really choose this career path, right? And then it does come to a point where you realize that what was in your head from an education standpoint or what you kind of based everything off of is totally different than the picture that you're starting to see yourself in. And so exploring those other fields is a great way or a great way to figure out where you're supposed to be. So I think everybody has that. It's kind of that early career crisis, right? Not the midlife crisis, the early career crisis. So
no, that's so true. And sometimes you get like a little bit almost like an itch, right? Of like, I wonder. And I think it's never too late. And I tell, my kids that where they're feeling the pressure, where they're at that age where they might need to choose, what majors for college or what might they be interested in. And I'm like, it's not a forever thing. It's okay. You can always adjust, pivot any point in your career, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you did not mention this, but I wanted to bring this up. So you actually went to college in a totally another country. So you had a very big pivot in your education as well. So what was that like going from working in Mexico and having your education, your bachelor's degree in Mexico, to then going and getting your master's in another country?
Yes, and yes, I forgot to mention that I am from Mexico, and that's where I had my undergrad, where I grew up, my undergrad, my first job, all that was in Mexico. So at the same time, not only was I transitioning careers, I was also transitioning countries. So yeah, the educational experience, it was good. It was different. It was such a rich, great experience, and I made that decision too because there were so many changes that I felt I needed to go the education path to build that credibility. And a lot of people who were there were making career changes. But I think, that's one route. I think there are many other routes that other people can take to pivot. But yeah, I chose education, and it was interesting. It was an adjustment. The weather was the biggest thing, actually, because I came
I
from
bet.
I think like San Diego style weather to then like Chicago weather. So that was an adjustment, but it was good. It was a great growth experience.
You went to the university, you got your master's, and then you went back out into the career force with this new marketing degree. So, and you actually were in the security industry when you were in engineering, and then you were not in the security industry when you first started your career after getting your master's, and then actually came back. So, do you want to talk about a little bit about that transition of not being in the industry and then that purpose that really drew you back into coming back to security?
Yeah, so after the MBA, I went to a consumer goods company and I was there for several years. But now I'm in Fishers, Indiana now. So being in the Indianapolis area, security industry is very prominent. So going back to the purpose, I live in one of the safest city in the US, and so safety is something I don't take for granted, and I want everyone to experience that. So I think that fuels the purpose of being in the industry is building safer places, safer communities.
No, absolutely. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to get sick of me saying this on every single coffee chat, but I really do think women lead a lot with value and purpose, and this industry is full of it. So I think that's what is going to be our key to getting more women into this industry, especially. So
Yeah, absolutely. We all want to work. Well, I guess I shouldn't say, I wouldn't speak for everyone, but I think a lot of people want to work somewhere where they know they're doing some good, right, for the world. So I think this is the perfect fit if that's something that you're interested in.
no, absolutely. And I think especially that resonates as being a mom, right? Too.
Hmm.
It is when you are spending time away from your kids or you're focused on your career, having that purpose in what you're doing is very key. It makes you feel like you're setting a great example for your children, but you're also not trading time with your greatest purpose, which is your
Hmm.
children,
Yeah,
to not have a purpose at work.
yeah, absolutely.
So with your engineering background and then coming into
Mhm.
marketing, there's a lot of probably key things that you took from engineering that you brought into marketing. So how did engineering in that piece of your career kind of really set the stage for some of the things that you've done in your marketing career?
Yeah, for sure. So there are a lot of skills that are transferable, right? That's the word a lot of people use, like transferable skills. But it's true. I mean, for problem solving, you're in engineering, you're problem solving a lot. Believe it or not, in marketing, we're problem solving all the time.
Yes.
uh, Creativity, I think it's a different flavor of creativity. When you're in engineering, you're trying to come up, how to do a new design or how do you solve this issue you're having. You're trying to generate a lot of ideas. Very similar in marketing. We're always trying to generate ideas and be creative. And then probably project planning or almost like that mindset of going like step by step. How do you approach something? So I think that is incredibly helpful, actually, in any field, probably not only marketing, probably a lot of other career options that is so valuable. So I think, the engineering degree is so versatile because it does let you go into other places very well. It equips you as a problem solver.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So shifting gears just a little bit, we talked about purpose and career and being in the security industry, but I think there was another purpose that you found once you got back into security industry with the Women's Resource Group. So do you want to explain how you kind of got involved and really kind of where that led with the Women's Resource Group within dormakaba?
Yeah, so when that employee resource group was starting, they really just made a call to everyone, right? Like, who wants to raise their hand and be part of the leadership team? So I was like, yes, me, I'm interested in that. That sounds great. Like, it was aligning very well with the mission, and seeing that there really was an opportunity to do better in the company and in the industry to attract the talent. I mean, we know that diversity in all sorts of ways, from, you can think about it in gender, you can talk about it in race, ethnicity, age, just ways of thought, personality, all of that makes companies stronger, because just the decision making is stronger when you have different perspectives. So we know that leads to, there's a very strong business case, right? Of profitability when it comes to that. So I just want to be part of it. So I led the mentoring committee, the Women's Network. And then we launched Lean in Circles there, which was a mentoring program, peer-to-peer, something we could scale very quickly for a lot of women and get it. And it's so powerful, right? Once you're in these groups, small groups, and women are talking, I mean, it's very powerful.
Absolutely.
And insightful, right? Because you're learning from each other and you're building on each other. You're creating relationships across the business, people that you normally wouldn't talk to. You're making connections. So it's really expanding your network at the same time. So that was a really great, fulfilling experience. And then after doing that for about 2 years, I joined forces with another group of people that we were trying to start another employee resource group that is called Diverse Shades of Excellence, a dormakaba. And this one is all about championing development and belonging for Black, African American, Hispanic, Latino, and allies employees. So started that up as well. Currently the co-chair. And I think it's all about just building an inclusive place where everyone can thrive, when everyone is empowered and feels valued.
No, absolutely. That is so important for people to feel that they're a part of something, to see themselves in other people, in
Yes.
other stories, right? And then also empowering individuals that might feel like they're the only person at the table, to speak up and know that their thoughts are valued just as much as everybody else's as well. So have you seen any other kind of impacts from the group? I know we talked a little bit previously about you speaking with specifically with the Women's Resource Group, an individual in another country that you kind of empowered them to get started. So they were, I think, a little nervous about getting started, but you were able to kind of convince them that this was a great positive direction for them to work towards, and I think it grew. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so when we were probably on our second year of doing Lean in Circles, we realized we wanted to expand the languages in which we were providing the program, because the first year was English only. So we wanted to offer Spanish. We had Portuguese as well. That got up and running. But with the Spanish, we made the call out for asking for volunteers to lead those groups, and that someone was interested, but was very hesitant to do it. Like, what's involved, I'm not sure, all that. So I said, look, I'll co-lead it with you. But it was like, I was like, I'm gonna coach you.
Yes.
And she was fine with that. She needed that emotional support of like, I'm not alone in this. And once we started, she was like, oh, this is great. Like, yes, I can do it. And it was good to be able for her to bounce with me the things, but I'm like, you got it. And once she realized she did, she felt empowered, to your point, to continue to do that. And that is something that was very satisfying for me, because I do love to coach. I do love to allow that opportunity for someone else to do it, um, and contribute, to that confidence.
No, absolutely. I think, with your background as with the mentorship, right? That's the biggest thing is seeing your mentees kind of take the reins on certain things. And even though this was more of a coaching and I'll co-chair or kind of help you get this off the ground, in a way it was a mentorship opportunity. And mentorship comes in various different packages, but it is enabling that confidence that they can take this over and run it themselves, right? So and it is the greatest gift, I think, to see somebody thrive or somebody be able to take the reins and really take it over themselves, or even see a mentor kind of step out of their comfort zone and or a mentee to step out of their comfort zone and really grasp, what you guys have been working towards, but really excel at it. And it is the most gratifying thing as a mentor to see those things.
And you know what, Emma, I feel like that's where growth happens. You have to put yourself out there sometimes in situations that are a little uncomfortable. I'm just thinking more from the perspective of that person. Sometimes you just have to go for it. You just have to, even if you don't feel completely ready for that task, jumping in is going to be a growth moment for you. And I think that applies to so many things. And this actually is reminding me, like, so many people don't see a job description or a job posting and don't go for the thing because they're too hesitant. I don't have all the boxes checked. But being able to just get out there is just so powerful, and it opens so many opportunities.
No, absolutely. So I've this is another topic I talk on till I'm blue in the face, which is the fact that as women, because I'm notorious of this, I've done this myself. We look at the job description and we see, I only checked 3 boxes. I can't go for it. And then we get in our head and we think about it and we think about it and we think about it. And then we're like, okay, I'm going to go for it. And then the job's gone and you're like, oh, you've gone for it. Right. And so it's one of those things where we have to get out of our own way and say, what is it going to hurt? A no is a no, but you never know what opportunity could lead to that yes.
Yeah.
And so just go for it. Go for it, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you probably see that with other groups, again, of where it's more a minority situation coming into more of a dominant group and going for those opportunities, right? And feeling kind of awkward raising the hand or going for those situations. But it just takes raising the hand, right? It just takes trying.
Raising the hand, trying. And honestly, sometimes it's who you're surrounding yourself, having other people to talk about some of these things, that people that can encourage you, cheer you on. And that's also very, very helpful to build that. As Sabrina Wilson, who founded Women's Network, used to talk about, build that board of directors, right, for your career.
Oh, I love that. And that's actually another coffee chat that she did with Candace. So that is part of our coffee chat series with Navigate Her.
So go watch that.
Yes, absolutely. Sabrina is full of wisdom for sure. So I have one last question for you. Yes. What is one emerging technology that fascinates you in security?
So I feel that everyone's talking about AI, and I don't know that I have anything new to contribute to that conversation. But obviously, what AI means and the growth of AI means is also the growth of data centers. And I think that's also a big topic in the security industry right now, is how do you secure data centers and bring solutions to those areas that are growing.
Very critical. Yeah.
That are critical infrastructure, right? So that, I guess that is one.
No, absolutely.
I feel like everyone is talking about AI, so I don't know, if I have any new viewpoint there.
Yeah, no, but it is a very key thing to security. So AI
Yes.
is a buzzword in every job function, right?
Yes.
It's enablement, it's organization of thought, it's all sorts of things. But in security, it means a lot. It
Mhm.
means something different, right? It
Yeah.
means taking the human processing time. So again, organizing the thought process
Mhm.
and getting at what that individual needs to see in front of them first and foremost, right? So
Yeah.
um, maybe it's a access control alarm. So I
Mhm.
think everybody talks about AI when it comes to video, but they don't necessarily
Mm.
talk about it from an access control standpoint.
Mhm.
But what if you have an individual that has a typical path and then they deviate? Like, start discovering those
Yeah.
anomalies in the system and figuring out what you need to address first and foremost, because that ultimately keeps the people, the critical infrastructure,
Yeah.
all those spaces safe. So AI is very interesting. What I think is great is that AI is an enablement tool for security, but it
Yeah.
doesn't replace people because we're dealing with people, right?
Yes.
So
Very true.
um, that is what's special about, I think, our organization. So
Absolutely. Well said.
yeah, no, absolutely. Well, this has been a great chat. I really appreciate your time and discussing all these different topics, especially your transformation from being in engineering, because this
Yeah.
is a women in engineering coffee chat,
Yes.
and moving into marketing, as well as kind of a few other things that you've really gotten involved in. So, and really driving all of this back to purpose. Thank you so much for your time. This has been another Women in Engineering Coffee Chat. So join us next time here on the SIA YouTube page with the Navigate Her and Women in Security Forum. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Emma Barkley, and this has been a Navigate Her Coffee Chat with my co-chair, Beth Anderson. We hope you found today's conversation inspiring and useful as you navigate your own path in security. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us for upcoming sessions, and feel free to reach out with feedback or topics you'd like to explore next. Until next time, keep learning, keep connecting, and keep leading.